Hey, what's up guys? In today's video, we're going to be going over some interesting PlayStation news. If you end up enjoying the video, drop it a like, and if you want to stay up to date on the latest PlayStation news, make sure you subscribe. So the first topic in the video is about how we are getting new gameplay for the Dead Space remake tomorrow. So we're going to be reading from PlayStation Universe where it says EA Motive will reveal the first Dead Space remake gameplay tomorrow. EA Motive has confirmed that those players eager to see gameplay from its upcoming Dead Space remake won't have to wait much longer, as a trailer is set to premiere tomorrow, showcasing gameplay for the first time. Everything we've seen before has been extremely early, mainly unfinished footage and all short clips. Tomorrow will more likely be finished, if not close to finished, extended look at gameplay. And so yeah, we are officially getting, for the first time ever, raw gameplay for the Dead Space remake tomorrow. You know, I'm very excited to see what this game looks like. Obviously from the screenshots that we've gotten, I believe last week, the game looks really good, and I believe this game is only coming out on current gen consoles, so only Xbox Series X and S, PC, and PS5, so it's not coming out on PS4 and Xbox One, which I'm happy because, you know, even though we already know there are some games coming out earlier next year on the PS4 and Xbox One, I hope and pray that after that, pretty much everything that comes out will be on the current gen consoles, you know, because I really want to see what these consoles can actually do and what they're capable of. And so yeah, I'm very excited to see what this gameplay is like, and I will be sure to give you guys an update on my thoughts after we see this new gameplay. But what do you guys think? Down below, let me know your thoughts on the fact that we are getting, for the first time, raw gameplay for the Dead Space remake. Moving on to the final topic in the video, we're going to be going over some interesting news regarding God of War Ragnarok, because we have two pieces of news to go over, and the first one is about how we now know the ESRB rating for the game. And so this is coming from PlayStation Universe, where it says God of War Ragnarok has been rated by the ESRB ahead of launch. The ESRB now has a public rating up for God of War Ragnarok that also includes a short description as to why it'll be carrying an M for mature rating once again. Not exactly the biggest shock, but there will be violence depicting blood and curse words used in Ragnarok. These reasons and more are why it has been deemed inappropriate for those in the more tender years of 16 and younger, while hardened and brittle 17-year-olds and their seniors can enjoy Kratos and Atreus' new journey. And so yeah, I mean, we officially now know that this game is rated M for mature, which that's not a shocker because the game before was rated M for mature, so I mean, there's no shock there. You know, and also it's pretty funny because over on Twitter, you know, Cory Barlog was making fun of this rating, saying you know, because in the description it says that they use the F word and the S word in Ragnarok, and he was using those two words specifically in his tweets and stuff, and I just thought it was pretty funny. And so we also have some more news to go over God of War Ragnarok, because we now know pretty much how long this game is going to end up being. And so once again, we're going to be reading from PlayStation Universe, where it says God of War Ragnarok game length is reportedly around 40 hours. Sony Santa Monica Studios' highly anticipated God of War Ragnarok will reportedly clock in at around 40 hours in length, according to a report on Insider Gaming. That figure includes all optional activities, as the main campaign will reportedly take around 20 hours to finish. Furthermore, around 3.5 hours out of the 20-hour campaign are dedicated to cutscenes, with 16 hours being actual gameplay. The additional 20 hours for side activities is composed of about 19 hours of gameplay and 1 hour of cinematics. As with any game, these hours will depend on individual playtime and is a rough estimate. While we won't know for certain until reviews start dropping just how long God of War Ragnarok is, David Jaffe said last year that he's also heard the game is about 40 hours long. Quote, I'm hearing from people in the know that the game is 40 hours. They're aiming for 40 hours of gameplay. I don't know if that's a 100% platinum trophy completion or if that's average playtime. Is it guaranteed? No. Things get cut, things get added. But what I can tell you right now, 40 hours of gameplay is what they're shooting for the new God of War, unquote. And so yeah, I mean, this should come to no surprise to anyone, because I believe it was earlier this year or sometime last year where Cory Barlog and Santa Monica came out and said you know, they didn't want this God of War, the new rebooted series of God of War, to be made into a trilogy. You know, they didn't want to wait they didn't want to make the fans wait 5 more years to get the third game, so they're kind of making 2 games in one. And so yeah, the fact that this game is going to be apparently around 40 hours to complete is not really that much of a shock, and it seems like apparently it'll take about 20 hours to beat the main story and about 20 hours to beat the side content. And 20 hours for just side content, that's actually insane. Now, I don't really remember exactly how long God of War 2018's main story was. I think it was around like 30 hours or something. I could be wrong. Maybe it was less. And so obviously these numbers are confirmed because maybe like it's not going to be 20 hours for everyone to beat the main story and for everyone to beat the side content in 20 hours, because whenever The Last of Us Part 2 was coming out and we heard that like, oh, it'll take about like 30 to 35 hours, or no, sorry, it'll take about 25 to 30 hours to beat the story, and on my first playthrough, when I was at the end, I checked and I was at like 21 hours. So I was assuming, I was like, oh, so I have like 4 more hours left. And no, that was just like a rough estimate, So, and The Last of Us Part 2 is a very long game. So it seems like God of War Ragnarok is going to be around the same length, maybe a little bit shorter, maybe a little bit longer. I'm not shocked that this game is probably going to be around 40 hours. The only thing that's kind of shocking is that the side content is apparently going to be about half of that time. And so, yeah, that's just, hopefully the side content is really good. I only played through a little bit of the side content in God of War 2018. I just really focused on the main story, and I think that's what I'm going to do, at least for my first playthrough for Ragnarok. I'm just going to focus on the main story. And so yeah, we only have a few more weeks to wait to play this game, and I'm very, very excited. But what do you guys think? Down below, let me know your thoughts on how God of War Ragnarok has officially got its ESRB rating, and also let me know your thoughts on how apparently it's going to take about 40 hours to completely beat this game. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it or found it informative, drop it a like and hit the subscribe button by turning on the post notification bell so you don't miss my next upload. Until next time, guys, take care.